Man, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
By the way, she asked me to do this yesterday.
That's your friend. Go ahead.
Let's take a moment to honor our people who sacrificed in an attempt to make our lives better. Let's take a moment to honor our ancestors who were forced to leave their native lands and sold into slavery, brought to a foreign land against their will and treated as animals and livestock. For 246 years, this nation would enslave people of color against their will. And yet, while slavery would eventually not officially end until 1865, this nation would still attempt to treat people of color with disrespect. They would want us to forget the numerous massacres that occurred against our people. For example, the Fort Pillow Massacre of Tennessee in 1864, where approximately 300 to 585 slaves were killed. Or in 1873, on Easter Sunday, more than 100 African Americans were killed in Northwest Louisiana while defending Republicans in local office against white militia. The incident became known as the Colfax Massacre. Don't be mistaken. There are those that would have us believe that our past is not important. They want us to forget that over 3,000 blacks were lynched between 1882 and 1968. They want us to push out of our minds all of the innocent lives that were taken over the years just because of the color of their skin. They want us to forget about people like Reverend George Lee of Mississippi, who fought for voters' rights. He would later be killed in 1955, and his known killers would go free. He was one of many that fought for voters' rights, and some of which would lose their lives, which should motivate us to never hesitate to go to the polls and vote every time we can. We can't forget about the freedom marches. We can't forget the separate water fountains and the separate bathrooms. We should refuse to forget the Jim Crow laws. We should keep in mind that segregation was an active part of history a very short time ago. It was only in 1964 that the Civil Rights Act ended all state and local laws requiring segregation. That was only 63 years ago. While this month is Black History Month, our history exemplifies such heroic behavior that we should constantly attempt to celebrate our people 365 days of the year. As we reflect on our history, let's thank God for where He has brought us from. Amen. To all of those here today that experienced the Jim Crow laws, that actually lived through separate bathrooms, that actually witnessed and experienced segregation firsthand, you are honored on today. To those that have experienced discrimination because of the color of your skin, you are honored on today. As I close, let us not forget our history, the sacrifices our people made. Let us be mindful that people of color have made great strides and will continue to make great strides. Thank God. Pay no attention to those that don't believe that we are successful, we are smart, we are intelligent. Because of you and our ancestors, my generation and those under me will be able to continue to a road to success. God bless.